well, good evening, and welcome to this edition of Referees Corner here on IslandStats.com. Excellence in action is the slogan for the Bermuda Football Association's referees here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin. Joining me is the chairman of the referees and the second vice president of the Bermuda Football Association, Mr. Cranston Williams, as well as Sarah Smith, young referee, up and coming. Let me quickly start with you, Sarah, because you're wearing that smile. You started to wear that smile on Sunday down at Lords and St. David's. Was that nerves or was that more? I know I got this.
No, somebody said a joke in that in the picture. That's why I was doing that. But
Oh,
it
okay.
was a mix of both. It was a mix of both. But yeah.
So when you got the assignment that you were going to be doing a senior league or the FA Cup game, more so than a senior league game, an FA Cup game, what goes through your mind as a young man that's looking to make an impression on people like Mr. Williams and others to get more chances?
I'm just I've been waiting for a while for them, and they finally came. So it's excitement, and I just go out there and do the best I can, really, and yeah, just try to make the calls as they come, and yeah.
Yeah. Williams, first of all, good evening. Giving a youngster an opportunity to show what he's learned, across a bit of time as a young referee. Take us through that. Take us through the decision making on you and your team's behalf on relying on someone like Sar and knowing that he's going to have the backing of just about everybody there.
Good evening, all. Well, as Sar knows, we've been talking about this for a while. It was actually Sar and Isaiah O'Brien. Isaiah was his AR in this game.
Yes.
We've been saying for a while, we know that our referees are, they're more experienced and they're not going to be around forever. So the plan is to create a pathway for the youngsters to get in. So the only way for them to get in is by actually putting them in games. So because we figured it was a FA Cup match and it was a Corona League team and a First Division team, figured it'd be a good way for Sar to get in. He did do a game previously also similar, was First Division and a Corona. So now that he's been to the next gen and I was told in no uncertain terms that Sar needs to start doing more games in the middle. So I figured, well, here's a prime opportunity. He got assessed. He had his team around him. And so now for me, Sar knows what he has to do and what he's required to do because his goal is become a FIFA referee. He'll probably become, I believe, maybe the second or third in this under my reign, hopefully. So that's the plan. And the only way for him to learn, yes, they're going to make mistakes. We all know this. No one's perfect. We see in the World Cups, everybody in the Premier League, they have VR and the like. But the only way is going to learn and grow is by giving them opportunities. And so that's what Sunday was all about.
Sure. So, we know that you went to the next gen over that 3-day period. What did you learn there that you said to yourself right away, I can implement this into my game?
I think I had learned some of it before, but some of it was clarified better, I think I would say. So I knew about it, but then I learned it at a deeper level, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. You see the intensity and stuff of the officials. I mean, you see a lot of them when they come to Bermuda. They're intense when they come to officiate and so forth. Just looking at how they carry themselves when on island, and what are some of the things that go through your mind that you want to emulate from just by their presence on island?
How they control the games in Bermuda, I think. Yeah, they have the respect of all the players, and I think that's what I want to accomplish.
That's a good word. The respect, Mr. Williams. As we know, there's sometimes there's no respect. But how do we improve that relationship between players, coaches, and officials.
For me, I think the biggest issue, yes, which we said for a while, is that I think Bermuda just allowed a culture where people just think it's okay to just use, as we like to say, foreign language on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So we are now in the process of cleaning that up,
Right.
because most people don't want to bring their children, their grandchildren, or the grandparents, or people to match it, because you heard pretty much is the profanity. So there was a meeting held the other day with the referees and members of the execs with the BFA. And one of the things we did state is that moving forward, we're going to have another meeting with the club presidents and the like, where it's all of us together. And if we don't work to improve in the game so that it benefits everyone, it's not going to change any. So I used to say to the referees, you have cards, take care of what you need to do. But at the same time, we've said, okay, well, it has to come from everybody. It has to be buy-in. Because, for example, we have the under-17s coming up soon, and Bermuda's going to be hosting a group. And what I don't want to see is our under-17, somebody getting sent off, causing us to be played short because using profanity on the field. So there's something we're looking at, hopefully stamp out early, and people understand, yes, it's respect. You can use other words, to talk to someone. It doesn't have to be everything is, something foul and abusive. And the referees also, they have to, like they say, have personality, because we know not everybody officiates the same. Yeah. And the respect that one might get from certain people is just how it works. But I think if we all, like I say, come together and it's consistent across the board, I think that helps in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, I heard from a coach that there's been a meeting and we're going to see some changes or some rules really nailed down as far as the foul and abusive language and stuff like that. To the general public, they're going to see probably cards issued first and then wonder what's going on. When can we possibly see this? Because I mean, you spoke about the under-17 tournament. That's in a matter of a few weeks. So can we start seeing it possibly this weekend, where players will have to, control themselves a lot better?
Well, I do know that some referees already spoken to teams and made it clear that what they're not going to tolerate. And there have been some people already dismissed, and coaches for using foul and abusive language. So I know the overall meeting with the presidents has not occurred yet, but that's in the making, because we want to get everybody on board. I even suggest that we include the under 13, under 15, under 18 coaches as well, because it goes straight across the board. You go to an under 11 match now, and you see youngsters using profanity where they think it's okay, and I'm like, yeah, you're 11 years old or 10 years old. That shouldn't be coming out your mouth. But it somehow seems to be where it's a culture now. We're accepting it, and what the BFA mandate was saying is no, it's not acceptable and it's not good for the game. So we need to stamp it up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna come back to you, because the when you do youth games, well, some youth games, the pitches are different. But as you get up in the youth to where under 18s and so forth, under 21s, the goalposts are the same, the field's the same size. It's just, do you find it difficult adjusting to say the game on Sunday as opposed to a under 17 or under 18 game?
So if you on a Sunday, or the game I did on Sunday, I would hear more from like the players in that, like for senior games, and then in the younger games, the younger they get, you hear more from like the fans, because the younger players obviously gonna have more respect for you. But yeah, so you hear from the fans one, and then the other one from on the field and fans. So, yeah.
Now, a lot of people, especially in the senior divisions, will look and say, "Oh, here comes this youngster." Man management is a big thing for a referee. Are you a vocal person, or are you? I spoke to your captain at the beginning of the game, and go from there. What type of personnel are you, or personality are you?
I think I can get better at like maybe being more vocal on the field as my confidence gets higher as I do more. So I think that's something I can work on. But for now, I think on Sunday, game on Saturday, I spoke to the captains before the game and said, we're trying to cut down on the foul language. So yeah, and it worked pretty good. It wasn't any. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, good stuff. So you manage stuff ahead of time, and
Yeah.
then you have to just go with that. Now, let me ask you: when you went to Barbados for to observe that next gen um, course, um, did it meet what you thought it would be ahead of time? Because obviously, when you're told, and you would have heard from people like Amari. Amari went last year, right, Kirsten?
Year before, yeah.
Year before. Stafford went last. Somebody went last year.
No, nobody went last year. Year
No,
before was
no.
Amari and Satia.
Right. But you hear stories about what they went through and so forth. But did it meet your expectation of what you thought it would be?
So coming in, I didn't really have an idea of what to expect, but I had, I was surprised that it was so many different levels of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Some people that had been there for 5 years, some people had done it for 5 months. So I was just surprised by the level of like different experience levels, but everyone there was pretty good.
Yeah. And Cranston, from an administration standpoint, looking at what they were able to accomplish at the next gen, talk to us about the admin side of trying to help our officials kind of get to a level of where they're constantly called to do these Nation League games, to do the Caribbean Cup or Caribbean Shield.
Well, it all starts like where Saw is. You have to go to U14s, U15s first. That's where you get your first look in. Based on how the referee or the assistant referee performs, they got assessed and then a recommendation is made. But in order to get to where Saw went the next gen, they have to be seen or the federation has to make a recommendation. So because Dave, Miko, Rohan Thorburn, and Victor Stewart were on island conducting sessions of our youth and senior referees, they happened to be here when Saw officiated the under 13 final. I think it was Gregory Grimes. So they saw him, and then I asked the question, and then a recommendation was made, and Saw was allowed to go as an observer because of his age. So he didn't participate in the first day with the fitness, but he did everything else. So as I was saying, once you go to the next gen, then they make a recommendation to go to under 14s, which is a CFU tournament. Then from there, you get to go to the CONCACAF tournament. After CONCACAF, depending on if you're old enough, depending on how well you do, they make a recommendation whether or not, or the federation can nominate you to go on the FIFA list. So that's what happened with Amari, Stefan, Natasha, and Randy. When they went, they did U14s, they were fine. So Tia went U14s and U15s as well, but she's not eligible yet to get on the list. So then once you get on the list, which Natasha, Stefan, Amari, Randy have all now done, when you go to tournaments, they assess you. And based on how well you do at each tournament, then they say, okay, you move up levels. So for example, Randy, aka Clinton, went to what do they call that thing? At the Dallas Cup, they had this program where like talent, I guess you would say.
Yes.
Academy. So he went there, then he graduated from that. So after that, then he did the under 20 championship run. That was big because that's the run based from that tournament. The team, I think the top four teams, they qualified for the actual World Cup. And he went as far as he got to a quarterfinal game where he was the fifth official. So from that, he was then elevated. He did the Caribbean Cup final. Amari has now transitioned to the FIFA list. So he is now actually in Costa Rica at the new FIFA referee seminar.
Yeah.
So us, the hope is we have to get them outside of Bermuda more to do what I would say high level matches, because then that improves, allows Amari to go up the rankings because it's in tier 3. So to do the high level games, you have to be in tier 2, tier 1, then it's the elite. Elite are the people that go to the World Cup. That's the goal of, hopefully like sending Asar, Isaiah, Satia, and whoever else is showing promise to like the Dallas Cup, sending possibly Jamaica, probably even Mexico and even the US to do training and things like that. Because from what I see in CONCACAF and how FIFA is, they don't really, Caribbean football is not ranked that high.
Yeah.
So we have to get our people into different places where the level of football is much higher and harder.
Yeah. No, so you come in at a rather challenging time because we have these four, and let's not forget Tashawn, as well as Antoine Augustus. These guys were pushing the envelope beforehand. Do you feel any added pressure that now you see where the bar is? You got to get there.
No, not really. No, but it pushes me to be better. It shows me what I can do, but I don't feel pressure now.
How soon do you want to be back in the middle?
Next weekend. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's pressure on the guy up just above you there on the screen.
No, because no pressure on me. No pressure on me. One thing everybody does, if they tell me they're ready, I let them go. One thing I do not hold them back.
One thing, Cranston, for the years, I mean, the only thing that's changed probably is the person that says it. Every year we get a story about a shortage of referees, which is, I mean, you get paid to write a story every year. You just change the name of the person that's saying it this time around. I think it's crazy, but we all know there's shortages of officials, but encouraging people like Saw and maybe those that are right behind, and there are a few youngsters we had on a few weeks ago that are probably now saying, "Oh, Mr. Williams, if Saw could do it, I could do it too." Just encouraging them to stay on track to become that next Saw, become the next Omari, become the next, just how are we encouraging them to make sure that they are doing everything that's required to get that opportunity that Saw was given on Saturday. Saturday.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that as a community, we need to support the youngsters. And one thing I must say, for the most part, most of the senior players do not really abuse the younger referees. They actually welcome the younger referees, believe it or not. Like Dunston, Tate, Saar, Isaiah, Dash, they are new. I remember when it was last season when Dunston and Tate first started.
Right.
I remember it was a game at Bernards Park. I think Boulevard were playing Wolves. And at halftime, Boulevard's coach, captain, and most of the players came to me and they thanked me. They said, "Hey, you're giving us an outlet to play football." And they said, the youngsters you're putting out, even though they're young, they know what they're doing. And first, I was a little bit, I said when they told me they were willing to do it, I was like, these children are 11, 12 years old. They really shouldn't be at a senior match per se.
Right.
But they made their calls and they stuck with it. And I remember Tate made an offside call in the first 7 minutes of the game. And he didn't put his flag down. He stood firm. And, one Boulevard player attempted to go over to him and his captain said, "Hey, what are you doing? That's a youngster." And he just said, sorry. And, he walked away.
Right.
And the team and the fans acknowledged the young man was spot on. When the game was over, everybody shook his hand and, they were like excited. Nowadays, Dunston, everybody sees Dunston is like, he's just used to seeing him.
Right.
He's been around for so long.
Yeah.
And Saar and Isaiah started was the same thing. But now, I guess I call them veterans. They show up at games and there's no issue, no question. They do what they're supposed to do. For me, the transition is just to trying to, I guess, not push them out too early in the middle because, of course, you have the age barrier and, the officiating people that's way older than them at times. We know how to respect the English, where it's like, okay, this is a youngster. He shouldn't be giving me a red or yellow card. But that's why I also try to make sure they have people around them that will have that back and also a strong match commissioner. So fortunately, I wasn't able to be at SAR's game on Sunday because I was at the historic game at the game on Saturday. Sorry, because I had an under 13 game.
Right.
But, I did send out a very, very strong message to say, hey, he's doing the game. He's in charge and nothing better happen. And everybody was there to support him. Isaiah's now got to make his ball. So, we're working on it.
Right.
We're working on possibly having a female referee. So I had a conversation with a young lady to say, hey, one of the things I saw when I went to the next gen, there's a shortage of females.
Yes.
There is a shortage of female referees. So I was, had the conversation with someone, meeting her tomorrow, and I said, I know the idea of being on the list as an AR sounds appealing, but I have a funny feeling you can go much further as a referee. So let's just see what happens. I'm dangling the bait and, let's see if I get any bites.
Okay. Well, I know saw after your performance on Saturday. I had spoken to Mr. Williams, and I actually got a message from both clubs during the football show that you done really well, and they're encouraging you to stick with it, and the sky's the limit. I mean, we now have a team, and watch the smile, a team of officials. And hopefully, once you become of age, you could join that team. If not, have a team of your own. I know you have people that are around your age and are willing and are ready to jump on board really quick. So there's another message. Kudos to the young man. He ran the line on Sunday. Hamilton Parish Terrace Onions had an excellent game. It's just things like that where
that was Dash Bailey.
That was Dash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So another one, and these youngsters, they just need the encouragement of the people on the sideline as well as the people on the field to want to come out. So let me ask you, sir, from a youngster, when you would have, because I'm trying to think how long you been involved in the program?
I started when I was 11, I think. Yeah, I was 11.
Okay. So, and you're what now?
17.
Okay. So 6 years. Did you see yourself where you are in 6 years?
I didn't think, I never looked down the line like that when I was younger. I don't know.
When did you start saying or hinting to Mr. Williams that you wanted to be in the middle of a senior game? When did that confidence come in?
I think maybe when I was, I'm not sure. I cannot remember that. Maybe like 15 or 16. I can't remember.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Williams, with a stroke of a pen or a typewriter or a laptop key, we can see Mr. Smith in the middle of a game on Sunday or Saturday or this weekend. He's put his hand up.
Well, we have to look at the schedule because SARS Sunday before 6 SARS not available, so that's kind of the challenge. But when there are Saturday games, we're working on getting them in the middle because, as I said, the goal for SAR this year is hopefully getting to get an invitation under 14s because it will be the girls, or maybe even, I don't know if they'll take them for under 15s, which is the boys championship. They take them just to give them the experience. But I was told, as I said, on certain terms, SAR needs to be in the middle as well as Isaiah. So having heard that from the instructors that the next gen, it was like no brainer to say, well, we need to get him more opportunities in the middle. Because like I said, our pool of senior referees are getting up there and, they're very experienced. So we need to make sure we have a plan to incorporate the youngsters in so that they get as much experience as possible.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, the ball's in your court, Mr. Smith, you and your colleagues. So I want to encourage you to stay to the wicket, encourage the others around you to raise their game as well, and encourage others that are probably still playing as well to come join the ranks because we need officials in order for football to continue. We need officials, and it could be a fun job at times, can't it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, what's been your most memorable moments of officiating for you?
It was the first game I did a line down St. George's. That was my first senior game.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely. I remember that one definitely.
Well, Charles, thank you very much for that.
She always comments. Yep, always comments.
But it's a true sentiment that it's causing to help her. It helps the fan to realize themselves that they can help a situation by addressing things in a different way. So I want to thank you for that comment because when we see these youngsters, it's more about encouraging than as Mr. Francis loves to put it, take it out on him. So,
yeah.
again, I want to encourage you guys to, and Mr. Williams, please, I heard your speech at the awards, at the pinning. The goalposts have been moved.
There was an underlying something in that speech as well.
I know what the underlining was.
There will be no moving of the goalposts.
The goalposts have been moved yet again.
With the president, there will be no moving of any goalposts. There will be none. Strategic plan has been accomplished 2 years early. Well, we need to do is, if possible, find a fourth, and that's something that's above, they say, above my pay grade.
Well, Mr.
SAR has what? SAR's 17, he gets 18 this year. SAR has another 6 years before he's eligible. Isaiah's the same. So I really don't know what to say.
So, Mr. Williams, you need to find 2 more that are the age.
I need to find. That's interesting. 18. I need to find. You heard that one?
So you have a full complement of team in 6 years' time, Mr. Williams. That's really.
I'm working on SAR and Isaiah. That's the 2. I don't.
Right. No. I remember.
I don't know what to say.
If you have 4 of them at that age now, then look how they'll grow together.
But I only have 2 right now. Dunston and Dunston Dash are too young. So they're 13, 14.
Right. So you gotta find 2 more 18-year-olds.
I have to find. I think I've done a good job of finding these people. So I think others need to find them now.
But because what's been said, I think the task could be now just a tad bit easier, because we've seen the results of people who have worked hard on the island and achieved a goal, and we've seen what youngsters like SAR and the others have been able to accomplish. So, as the opportunities come, some youngster or their family might say, "Hey, listen, man, it's a better path for you running the line or running the game as opposed to running up and down kicking the ball, because you're spending more time sitting on the bench. You might enjoy being an official."
I think the biggest thing to that is the abuse from the spectators on a Sunday. I think that's which I've said, that we need to, the clubs and everybody needs to ensure that we create an environment which is conducive for persons to want to officiate. Mm-hmm. Because, when you're at a game and all you keep hearing is people cursing and saying, to the ref, what this ref, what that ref.
Yes.
You don't say anything when your striker misses 10 goals. You don't say anything when a defender miss kicks or does anything. All they focus on is the referee. And what I find amazing, as long as the referee is making the calls for a particular team, the referee is the best thing. The minute the referee doesn't make a call that they feel should go their way and he doesn't, then all of a sudden the referee is the worst person getting it. Yeah. And the other things I stress and I tell people a lot is that on a Sunday, the referees, a lot of especially assistant referees, they double up.
Yeah.
So we'll do a game at 12:30 and then have another game at 3.
Yeah.
And I've said it and I'm going to keep repeating it. No team is asked to play 2 games on a Sunday, back to back. Right. The referees are asked, and the referees are human. They don't have a break in between. They're not given, allowed to go and have a meal, have a massage, relax, all of that. But they do it because they want to see the games continue. And yes, they are human. They're not robots. And I keep stressing, I stress it. But people somehow just think it's automatic. And a lot of things people love to say, oh, the referees are getting paid. If you look at what the referees get paid to do their games, because they got to be there an hour before. The game takes an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then to do the debrief and the reports, what they get paid, no. Sorry. They're doing it because they love to do it.
Yes.
And I think I said it, and I'm going to keep saying it. We need to create a better environment for people to referee. And I'm going to say it also, when the foreign referees come, it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
And I just find it absolutely amazing that some of the coaches and players who like to give a lot of lip to the local referees, when Daniel Parchment, Ocean Nation, Odette Hamilton, Okito Nicholson show up on Ireland, you don't hear anything. And I've challenged local referees. I said, for me, it's like somebody coming to my backyard, we're playing football and you beat me up. No, you're in my house. That's not supposed to happen.
Right.
But I think, which we always say, it's a familiarity piece. But we, as people who love football, we need to battle. We need to create a better environment for our referees. I'm sorry, we do.
Yes, and I agree wholeheartedly. Well, SAR, continue the good work. We'll be checking in on you and your colleagues as well. Mr. Williams, again, well done. Keep up the good work. We encourage you and give you as much encouragement and support as we can, and your officials as well. So big game tonight.
Yes, they have a good team. I won't say who they are, but they have a good team.
Good stuff. Okay. Well,
before you go, Mr. Biz, and I would like to publicly thank you for your support over the years for the referees, because there's one person I know I can rely on to always cover the referees is you, sir. So on behalf of us, the Referee Committee and Referee Association, thank you very much.
Not a problem. I just think, the sport deserves as much support, and as well as all parts. And I think the referees play one of the most important parts of the game, and they need the support that they can get, all the support they can get. And I look forward to doing whatever I can to ensure that they are encouraged and supported. So thank you very much, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
All right. Well, folks, we'll be back next week with another edition of Referee's Corner here on IslandStats.com. Have a good night.
Good night.